Okay, so today we're going to be looking at a dividing problem, and it's 284 divided by 4. We're going to break that down a little bit further so then we can estimate. So we're going to bring it down to 280 divided by 4. That one's a little tricky, so we're going to break that down a little further. We're going to drop that 0 to make it a little bit simpler of a term. So 28 divided by 4 equals 7 using mental math. To get that proper estimation, we're going to add that 0 back, which gives us our proper estimation, which is 70. So I can expect this to be lower than the answer because I rounded my dividend down. Going on to our concrete method, our top row is 284. Our bottoms are the sections that we want to evenly disperse. So I can see that I have 2 hundreds I want to share, 8 tens, and 4 ones among the 4 sections. So I can already see that I can't split the 200s evenly. So I'm going to convert them into tens so then I can disperse them evenly. So I already know that 10 comes from each 100. So that means I have 20 tens that I just gained. So 20 divided by 4 equals 5. So I'm going to disperse those evenly. Now I'm going to be looking at the remaining tens. So I have 8 tens left. That means 8 divided by 4 equals 2. So I can give 2 to each one. Now I'm going to be looking at the remaining ones. There is 4 left and there's 4 sections, which means 4 divided by 4 equals 1. So now I'm going to count what I got. I have 7 tens and 1 ones in each one. That means I have 71. Using the pictorial method is close to the same as what we just did using those manipulatives, but this is done usually on pen and paper or a whiteboard. So same thing, I'm going to be looking at those hundreds. I can't split those up, so I'm going to break those down a little further. I'm going to put them in a different color just so then I know what I'm working with. And so I'm going to break those down into 20 because there's 10 in each. I'm crossing them out just so then I don't use them again and don't make that mistake. So then I know 20 divided by 4 equals 5, so I'm going to give 5 tens to each. Then I'm going to cross those out so then I don't make the mistake in using them again. Then I look at what's left. There's 8 tens, so I'm going to do 8 divided by 4, which is equal to 2. So I give 2 to each. The remaining ones is there's 4 ones, so I'm going to give 4 divided by 4 equals 1. So then I count what is in each one as it is evenly dispersed and there is no remainders. So there is 7 tens and 1 ones. Now I'm going to be looking at the symbolic. So I use the distributive method. So this basically means that I'm going to be looking at my dividend and I'm going to breaking it down a little bit. So it's 280 and 4. So that's my hundreds, tens, and ones. So then I'm going to be finding out what can go into 200 divided by 4, which is a little bit tricky. So I'm going to drop that 0 again, break it down to 20 divided by 4, which we've been working with, so it's 5. So then in order to have that proper number, I'm going to have to add that 0 back and get 50. Then I'm going to be breaking it down to 80 divided by 4. Could be a little tricky, but I know it's 20. But if I was tricky, then I would drop that 0, do 8 divided by 4, know it's 2, and then add that 0 back. Then I know 4 divided by 4 equals 1. So then I'm going to take those numbers that I had got, and I'm going to add them together. So I'm going to go 50 plus 20 plus 1, which I know is 71. In order to check, I'm going to think, does 4 go into 2? No. 4 goes into 28 7 times. 4 goes into 4 1 time. So that's how I just checked my answer. Using the personal strategy of the partial quotients method, I'm going to be looking at how I can make this work. So I already know that 200 can go into this because it's smaller than my dividend. So I go 50 times 4, which is 200. Then in order to be safe, because I'm not sure exactly what can go into 80 from 4, so I'm going to stick with a safe number, which is 10. So 10 times 4 is 40. So I'm doing that twice, as you can see, but that's just so then I'm comfortable with my math and I know I'm not making an extra mistake. So then I go 1 times 4, I take those answers, or those numbers that I had used, and I'm going to add them up together, which I will get 71. I'm going to check that answer again. Can 4 go into 2? No. 4 goes into 28 7 times, and 4 goes into 1 once. My estimation reevaluation is that I was very close. I did round down, and so I expected that my number was going to be lower than what I had, but I was very close, as my initial estimation was 70 and my total was 71.